Hey,
Speaking.
hey, man, how you doing? It's Michael.
How are you,
Good. Good morning, man. We made it. It's Monday. Got a whole
Good
week
morning,
ahead of us.
Monday. Yeah, it's really
So let's
early for
go.
you if you're calling from California.
I'm actually on the West Coast right now. I'm actually out in Virginia. We just finished up the mastermind event this weekend. I'm going to be heading back
Oh,
to California probably in the next day or two.
oh,
Um,
okay.
where are you from, by the way? I don't recognize your area code.
I'm living in New Jersey, but I'm from Colombia.
Oh, nice. Nice. That's awesome. That's awesome. But anyways, and by the way, is that how I pronounce it? Am I saying it right?
Yeah, you're saying it right.
Awesome, man. Just wanted to have a quick chat. Just wanted to get to know a bit more about yourself, your plan here with e-commerce, just to see, if and also how we can help you. I'd love to see what we can do. Is it all right if I ask you a couple questions?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. All right. Well, tell me a bit more about yourself, man. You working, running a business? What do you have going on?
I'm working, and recently I'm actually on transitioning from switching jobs. Got a new job. I'll be starting on the 15th. Usually I work on logistics, but this will be a little different. It's with a German company that they're breaking ground here in the U.S. So it was a great opportunity for me in terms of money and to do something different. Is the position is completely remotely. Like I told you before, I'm from Colombia. I came on to this country in 1999, and
Mm-hmm.
ever since I'm been here. So yeah, so my main source of income is obviously my job, my paycheck. I did try e-commerce or Shopify before, but I lost more money than what I make. I didn't even break
Mm-hmm.
even. And one of the things that I struggled the most was with Facebook ads and all those stupid policies and accounts being
Yeah.
black
Don't even get me
and
started. Yeah.
yeah, and also choosing your targeting audience. I feel like sometimes like maybe because I don't know if I wasn't selling the right products or what, but I found it that I was spending a lot of money on advertising and they were not converting as much as I would like. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean it's pretty common. Facebook ads are definitely pretty complex, right? Especially now, with where costs are. It's probably not where I would start marketing in 2022. I'd probably look at something like Google. But yeah, I mean it's what you're bringing up. It's pretty much what everyone goes through their first business. It's always a nightmare. It's kind of a shit show. You spend money on ads, nothing converts. For me, I'll tell you my story. When I first started e-commerce, what I did, and this is probably the stupidest thing I could have done, I had probably about $1,000 saved up for my ads, right? And what I did was, because I was selling a tech product, right? So I would set my targeting, and this is like I knew absolutely nothing. I had a small course that was teaching me some of the basics, and I started targeting to India, right? Because India was giving me the best cost per clicks, right? And I was setting it up for conversions, like for add to carts. And
Yeah.
what ended up happening was I spent my whole $1,000 on Indian leads, and it turns out that I was just targeting like bots, right? Bot factories in India that were doing absolutely nothing. And I learned that lesson the hard way, right? By making that mistake. And now I know I'll never do it again, right? But it's part of the process. I'm glad, it hasn't discouraged you from, continuing to
No,
do this.
no. Shopify is something that I always wanted to do in terms of something that, I know the money is there. I was targeting people here in the US, Europe, like different places. I was following this course that this guy had, but first of all, once I didn't like him as a teacher. I didn't thought that the way he taught was resonating with me. I just, so and he was just, using videos and then, figure out yourself. And even though when he was doing his live and people was asking questions, sometimes he got aggravated by people asking the same questions.
Mm.
So for me, it was not a great experience, but I have always said, once I found somebody, that I like or even, have a company to, I was like, you know what, fuck it, build the store for me, run it, and if you have to take some of the profits, take it. All I care is about, me having another source of income, another, stream of income coming in just in case, you know, God forbid, I lost my job or, and the way I see it is, like I want to use those profits to start, investing in other areas to start creating another different sort of income. So then when I saw that was offering like this kind of option, then I was like, let me jump on it.
Hmm. Yeah, I think the timing's important too, right? Just with everywhere that the market, like what's happening with the market right now. I wouldn't say we're in a complete recession, but I think it's a time where you definitely want to prepare yourself, right, for the next couple of years, right? And
Yeah.
to get to a place where everyone's scared right now, right? No one wants to buy anything. Everyone wants to sit on their cash, but at the end of the day, when others are fearful, you have to be greedy, right? Um, you got to create extra income streams to then, set yourself up so that you have cash on hand. You can, buy things like real estate, crypto, stocks when they're at their next lows that you can set yourself. Like that's where generational wealth is created, right? In these bottoms, right? Not
Yeah.
when, the past couple of years has been, pretty eye opening for a lot of people. But yeah, I mean, I hear what you're saying, and I'm glad, that you're fully committed to all this. I think this could probably make sense. You said the main thing for yourself, and just so I'm clear, is just having the right support system, right? Having people who have already done this, who actually care about your success, who are going to walk you through exactly how this is done so that you can learn it, master it. I'm sure, you don't want to lean on people forever, right? You want to learn it for your own. But it's just about getting things started, getting it profitable. That's the most important thing here, right?
Exactly. Like what I like about what I was saying is, like I don't want to deal with. I know that further research is important, but like right now, if I understood correctly what it was offering, all I have to do is the marketing, and they will take care of setting up the store and shipping and everything else, and then at the end of the day, we split the profit. Uh,
Exactly, yeah.
yeah, yeah, like I want to learn the skill, but sometimes at the same time, if I can leverage his products and the work that he would be doing, I don't mind keep doing it until like whatever. So I feel like okay, let me do this on my own, or like he said in his video, uh, no, there is not that many e-commerce experts out there. Maybe I'll start consulting while having the stores on the and still selling his products. Like that doesn't really bother me at all.
Okay, good. Yeah, the number one thing you're going to have to know is the marketing, right? So just to be clear about the site, it's going to be fully built out for you, right? So imaging, branding, products are already going to be populated on the site. We're going to pick out like the top 100 or so best sellers from that brand. It's also going to be connected to fulfillment centers. That's all automated, done for you, right? So you can make changes to it if you'd like, but there's going to be no need. From here, it's just going to be about driving traffic and then bringing in the sales, right? But I wanted to ask here, when it comes to, actually learning the marketing, right, mastering it to a point where you can start seeing profit coming in, sales coming in, you can do this consistently. What do you think you would need from a support system? Like, what do you think that would look like for you to actually see real results with this?
I believe understanding the budget that I will need, understanding how to create an appealing ad, and also what audience to target. Because I believe on the previous course that wasn't very clear, and like I want to understand that like okay, if I want to be using Google Ads, like I believe I took a little look at it before when I was doing it, and Google Ads can be a little complex too because you have to enter a lot of information at times, and they have like different algorithms. So that's the main thing, because like I say, for me in commerce, I think the marketing is probably the worst. Uh, from the standpoint that you really need to one create a good ad that will catch people's attention. Then second, having knowledge of the content that you're gonna put in there and also the audience that you're gonna target. And then last but not least, the channels that you're gonna be floating will you ask for, to attract more buyers and everything. I think that's the harder part because even obviously when I was doing it, I was buying from AliExpress, and then the fulfillment took 35 to 40 days unless you find a vendor that has a warehouse in the United States, and then they'll tell you, oh, if you want to ship it from the United States, the cost of your product will maybe is, I don't know, 30 to 50 more cents just because they're in the United States, and the shipping will be faster. I work in logistics, so I know how saturated the logistics for bringing cargo into the United States is, especially if they're going to put it on a container. It might take 2 months to get here. Even if they send it on an airplane, it's still going to take quite some time.
Mm-hmm.
So I believe, marketing especially, for me, is a high, because when I have it, fulfilling the order, going in there, purchasing the thing, then sending, I have drop shipping ads and everything that they were automating and doing the work for me in terms of, keeping track of when the vendor will send me the tracking number. So I have that in there so that system automatically pushes it to the customer and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
But, I think that was my biggest headache and my biggest frustration was the ads, the kind of money that I was spending. I literally spent probably $9,000, and if I get, I don't know, maybe $5,000 back, it was a lot. So, like I say, most of my money was spent on ads, but I didn't convert as much as I wanted.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Yeah, I mean, just to kind of, sum everything up there, what you said, it's clarity with the marketing, right? It seems like, you want to work within a system that is already proven, right? When it comes to audiences, offer types, creatives, essentially around the whole business, right?
Yeah.
So obviously it can be profitable. Okay, yeah, I mean, then what you mentioned, it does, pretty closely align with what we do, actually. I can take the next 2 minutes here so I can tell you a bit more about what the coaching could look like, and then we can take things from there. Do you have a pen and paper handy?
What was that?
Do you have a pen and paper with you?
Yeah.
Okay, awesome. Yeah, I'll just explain and kind of break down exactly how we'll guide you through everything, and if everything sounds good, we'll get you started. Very straightforward what we want to do. So in this case, the store is going to be completely built out when it comes to, just to be clear, the fulfillment, the shipping of orders, the profit splits with our team. We're going to be sending you instructions on exactly how that's done. Long story short, as soon as you get the store and you get all your personal information in there, your store is going to be ready to ship out products within the U.S. pretty quickly, right? From here, it's all going to be the marketing. So what we're going to do, because we've been running these brands for the past, 4 or 5 years or so when we completely shifted into the e-commerce with, you're actually going to be working side by side with some of the same media buyers who run these brands, right? So what we're going to do for the next 4 months is we're going to run you through a very specific marketing strategy that we've already used, just to show you exactly what's already worked for us, show you how to execute on it so that we can skip, the months of, testing and trial and error until you get profitable, right?
Mm-hmm.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
That's the idea, right? So what we're going to do is basically a weekly coaching call every single Wednesday for the next 4 months. You're going to be working with our marketing team. And on these calls, we're going to be taking you through step-by-step this strategy. So, the first Wednesday, we're going to hop on a quick meeting with you. We're going to map out the first couple weeks, how we're going to be testing your audiences, what kinds of campaigns you're going to be running. We'll help you set them up. We'll give you direction, etc. The following calls, we're going to start ramping things up, right, where I'm actually going to start building out the campaigns with you on the calls, showing you how to set them up, showing you how to read your numbers, and basically just, you'll be able to lean on our team, get our expertise and guidance just to make sure that you're confident in what you're doing. And, more importantly, just to save time, with all the testing, right? So every Wednesday, we're going to walk you through what to do and how to do it. In between the calls, you're going to have a bunch of questions. Obviously, there's going to be moments when you need help. So we opened up a private support channel just so at any time, if you have questions, you want a second opinion, you can reach out to us directly and get that support. Usually it's within a couple minutes. It's a pretty small group. So, as long as you're showing up for the calls, your camera's on, you're asking questions, you're putting in time outside of the calls, we are going to be moving pretty quickly. So it's important that you're on top of it, but it should be pretty straightforward here the next couple months. Does all that make sense?
Yeah.
Awesome. And by the way, is this something you can set aside hours to a week? Like you'd be able to, commit to being there, utilizing the support?
What time are the calls? Because I'll be working, so.
We do it every Wednesday at 2 p.m. Eastern. We record them as well if you can't make it. But, yeah.
And they last for how long?
Usually about an hour.
Yeah. Okay.
Can you make it happen?
Yeah, I'll do my best to jump on them, but most likely I will have to watch the recording, honestly.
Yeah, it's no big deal. I mean, the thing is with the calls, like we'll be pairing you up with other individuals who are pretty much at the same stage as you, right? So you'll be able to learn from them. You'll all be following more or less the same steps. It might just be more important that you're active in the private group, right? But I mean, you already have experience with this. You've already done this before. It seems like the main thing is just a couple, solid strategies, a couple golden nuggets, paired up with the right execution, and the business is going to be rolling pretty quickly here, right? So I don't see that being so much of a problem. But what do you think of everything? Do you feel like with this kind of support, like you would have what you need to, start seeing results?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, I wish the calls were a different time where I can jump on it and be like, because like I said, I'm starting a new job, so maybe the next couple of weeks will be fine because I don't start until the 15th, and I'm still transitioning. I still have some weeks left on my the job that I'm currently right now, and I'll be able to take that time apart. But once I start the other job, I need to see what is it that I'm going to be doing, what my schedule looks like for me to see if I can set a photo. Like say I'm going to take my lunch time at that time, but I will have to see how I can make that happen. If not, like I said, I will have to watch the recording, and hopefully I'll be able to understand everything that is going on.
Okay, cool. Yeah, no, I hear you. I mean, at the end of the day, you got to make time for it, especially if a goal seems like it is to do something like this at a full-time level, right? So you don't have to rely on those jobs. But yeah, okay. Well, anyways, to actually get you access to everything here, the weekly coaching, access to our team, the marketing strategy that we're going to be running you through, and then of course the private group chat. With the investment, we're not going to be doing any monthly fees or any additional equity splits, profit splits, anything like that. For full access to everything, it's just going to be a one-time investment of $2,000.
Okay, so I will invest $2,000 for the 4 weeks.
For the 4 months. 16 months.
Okay, so and that's where they'll teach everything, and this is for the stores because I think I pay for 2 stores to be built and then be able to do everything.
Mm-hmm. Correct. Does that work for you?
Yeah. Okay, so it's 2,000, and then how much will I have to spend on the marketing?
Good question. I'm glad you brought that up. So it's something where, I mean, you want to start very low budget, right? Especially with the way costs are right now when it comes to your ads. Like, by no means do you want to get aggressive your first month, right? So this is something we're going to be talking to you about probably on your first call, just your budget and how we're going to stretch this thing out. I'd set aside somewhere between $200 to $500 for your first month maximum. From there, I mean, with results, with progress, once we can look at your numbers and kind of more accurately project what kind of sales you're going to be seeing, that's when we'll start scaling, right? And that's part of the reason why we do the weekly calls, so we can actually look at your numbers with you, look at your budget, and give you advice, right? So set aside a few hundred to begin with, but obviously the more the merrier, right? The more you have available to you, the faster we can grow the business. Whether that's credit or something, we can talk to you about that.
Okay.
All right. Well, any other questions for me before we go ahead and get you set up?
No. So if I don't choose this program, then what happens?
What do you mean?
Like, this is extra, or this, even if never mind.
Yeah, I mean it's up to you whether you want it or not, right? The coaching is completely optional. You can definitely go with the store and scale it on your own. But I'm sure part of the reason why we're on the call is because you've already kind of tried that, right? And you haven't seen the best results. I mean, do you feel like you would probably need the support at one point or another to actually do the business at a high level?
What was that? I'm sorry.
Yeah, I mean, do you feel like you would need the support? Like, do you feel like you would need to work with individuals who've already done this at some point?
No, definitely. I'll need the support. So it will be, you say $2,000, right?
Yeah, that's correct.
Now, this course, once it's done the 4 months, will I still be having access to it?
So the way we have it set up, because we launched a very small test group back in February, and from what we saw, 4 months is going to be more than enough time for our goal within these next couple months is we want to show you how to go from $0 in sales to your first couple $1,000 in sales, right? If we can take you step by step through that process, show you, teach you exactly how to do that, you're going to be confident in doing it again, right? You won't need, a high level of support at the end of the 4 months. With that said, you will have access to it at the end of the 4 months if you still need it, but I don't think you will. As long as you're putting in the time, as long as you're showing up for calls, it won't be a problem. If there is a little bit of trouble, with getting on the calls live when you start the new job, just let me know. I can extend your access to the program for a couple of weeks. I want to make sure you have what you need here to see results.
Okay.
We'll be in touch the whole way through, right? So if there's anything else we can help you out with. I've been doing e-com for a little while now. I have 2 skincare brands up in Toronto, where I'm from, with my girlfriend. So you'll have my support. I'll be in some of the calls. You'll have access to our team. As long as you're showing up, man, I mean, to keep it 100% with you, you have access to people on these calls, some of the marketing guys who have done hundreds of millions of dollars in sales with these brands, right? If you are showing up every week, camera on, asking questions, working on this daily, getting to a couple thousand in profit is pretty straightforward. We've seen a couple students already make that happen in the short time that we've launched the program.
Okay. All right. So how do I get started?
Yeah, it'll take the next couple minutes just to walk you through all the next steps. Just give me 1 second. I'm just going to load up your account here on the back end, okay?
Okay.
So you said you're in New Jersey now, right? Have you been living here since, or living there since '99?
Yeah, correct.
Nice. You a Brooklyn Nets fan? You a Knicks fan, or who's your team?
Basketball wise?
Are you into basketball? I know New York's a big basketball city.
I follow basketball. I follow football, but I'm not a fan of neither of the teams here. If I have to pick any other thing, I will probably like the Nets, but I'm more of a player fan, than team fan.
I know what you mean. What do you think of Kevin Durant? He wants to leave you guys. What do you think about that?
I mean, that's crazy, but I mean, it is what it is. That experiment with Kyrie Irving didn't work. So
yeah,
and I think that's the reason why he wants to leave, because I guess he wanted to see if the Nets will have Irving accountable for what he did last season, and since they allow him to, take his player option, then I think that's what he was like, I'm out of here. This is not a serious franchise.
Yeah. I personally think between you and me, I'm a huge Raptors fan. I think he's coming to the Raptors. I think we're going to get him.
Yeah. That'll be interesting.
Yeah, I think it'd be cool. But yeah, I've always been into basketball my whole life. Do you play at all, or are you just a fan?
I used to play. I'm very rusty now.
Yeah, same.
Yeah.
To be honest with you, not in the same shape I once was. But you got to get out there. You got to keep yourself active.
Yeah, I try to work out once in a while, but I'm recently moved out with my girlfriend, so I haven't been able to hit the gym or find a good gym around where we live. So that's what. But I try to eat, healthy and do some exercise here and there.
Yeah, just got to do 50 push-ups a day, man. That's my workout. Just I'll do 10 every couple hours. I'll squeeze them in. We can always make it happen.
Yep.
You just got to squeeze it in there. But I have everything good to go here on my side. Did you want to use the same card that we have on file?